You're now tuned in to the hottest barber podcast, C's Barber Talk, with your host, the one and only C. All Barber Talk. We talk about hottest clippers, best products. Let's go.
What is up, everybody? It's your boy C, also known as C Got Faze on Instagram. I got my barber bro, man. I had to bring him in. We work at the same shop, Billionaire Barbershop, Sacramento, California. I just met this dude, man, but our connections to, me and him connected so well with each other, man. It was so crazy. It's, we almost miss each other, man. I ain't even gonna lie, because when you're in the shop, you gain that barber love. And me and this dude, man, I'm gonna let you go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
What's up? My name's Anthony. Instagram is splash.jpg. I do miss you, bro. Not even kind of like. And he's right. Like, I feel like we connected like almost immediately. I mean, at first I didn't know who this dude was, but he hit me up on Instagram, and then we started talking. I found out he knew one of the other barbers, and then he was sending me pictures of his work. And I remember when you were saying you were trying to come, you were trying to let me know you were serious. Yeah. And I was like, who is this dude? He came through, and I was like, man, you were hella cool. I didn't expect you to be so cool. And yeah, I'm glad to be here, bro. I appreciate that. I'm humbled to be on the show too. Yeah, man. Hey,
thank you very much. But you know what? You're bringing back memories behind you, man. That's the shop right there.
Yeah. I had to post up here for the video. I didn't really have like a good, background. I wasn't sure where I was gonna do it at. But I wanted to come and do it here.
Nah, man. I just look at the back. I'm like, man, I'm ready to be back in that shop that you're at right now.
Yeah. Every now and then I come check on it.
Yeah. But, it's a blessing. Thank you for, joining me. And a lot of people, I've been having all these big names. And when it came to, I knew I was bringing you on because I reached out to you. I wanted you on. And, a lot of people, because, my follow base is getting big. So they really don't know who you are. But to me, I felt like I had to bring you on. It was only right to, because the knowledge and the wisdom you have in this barber game, bro, is just crazy. When we talk and when we, put our minds together on, do this, let's try this in the industry. And, I've been telling you about this podcast, and you've been telling me, do it. Besides, me coming in, you not knowing me, you was already like, bro, you need to get on that podcast. You were just preaching about, it's going to work. And I didn't do it, and then it comes back to this right now, starting the Zoom, starting YouTube. You told me, I even asked you, I said, should I do it? And you're like, bro, you have to do it. I'm like, I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna do it when I get back in the shop. But you're like, no, just do it. And I said, you know what? Let's do it, man. So thank you to you for this is what you created, was the new YouTube podcast, man. So
hey, you created it, bro. I just told you that you could do it, that you should be doing it. And believe it or not, like, even though all this is kind of sucks that we're all like quarantined and we're going through all this, but it was a perfect opportunity for you to start this thing. Yeah. And I'm glad that it came about, to be honest with you, because I felt like you needed to do this. Like, this was something that was kind of in the cards, and it was gonna happen. But I'm glad it happened now, and that this is your thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I see a lot of people doing it. So and I'm getting people writing me and talking about, man, hey, you see so-and-so doing this, you see so, and I'm like, you know what? It doesn't matter to me. Everybody, this video podcast world is open for the world. I'm not the only one that's doing it, so I look at it as a little bit of competition. I got to step my game up. I got to, be better speaker. I got to ask better questions, because I'm watching these other barber podcasts that are coming out, and it's just helping me because I'm doing my homework on them. This is all new to me. That, man. So, it's getting my words together, be able to say the right things to people. And it's working, I guess. It's making me a better talker. I'll tell you that.
It's a learning process. And you know what I mean? I feel like you got it down and you just kind of jumped on it. You have like the equipment. Remember you put together like you got the boom stick, and you started putting things together like to be able to film. And you jump on that stuff quick. And that's why I knew you could do it, because it's just there. Like, for you, it's there. And even though it's maybe you didn't know much about it, but I feel like you were like, it wasn't like foreign to you. So you were able to pick it up real quick, and you already knew what you wanted to do and how to do it and all that.
Yeah. And you know what? My girl hates that about me. My girl literally hates that shit about me. She hates that when I think of something, I'm on it. Boom, boom, boom. I got to do it.
Well, you know what? You got to be, because not a lot of people will just jump on it. I've been saying there's a lot of things that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I won't jump on it. And you do it, you know what I mean? And that's why, I'm like, I'll hype you up because I'm like, just do it, you know what I mean? I know you can do it, you know what I mean? I know if you want to, you will.
Yeah, and not just you throwing your 2 cents. I mean, like I said, I listen to everything you say, but you got Sente, you got Milo, you got Efren, Joe, you got Jose. We're all in the shop. We got we got Vince, and you guys all encourage me to do everything because you know me, I'll be cutting. I think an idea, I'll shoot it to you. I'll be like, Ant, because you're all the way in the corner. Ant,
yeah.
What do you think about this, Ant? And you're like, you'll think about it because you won't sit there and give me an answer straight up because I know you think about it first before you give your opinion, and I know that, and I'm learning that about you because you know how I am. If you say something, I'm jumping. So I see, and I know you when I tell you something, one of my ideas, you're always like, and then like 20 minutes later, you know what? It would work, but you should do it like this. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. That's true. So, it's just, that's the bond of a barbershop. And with us at Billionaire Barbershop, it's way different. I don't know, man. It's hard to explain. We just all gel together. It is crazy because we gelling together and we did it within a month, huh?
Man, yeah, we did it quick, and we built the team pretty quick, and it's solid too. Not just a team that cuts hair, like a team that vibes together and that we want to do things together. We want to grow together. We have all these ideas, and like you said, we'll just be cutting and we're spinning out ideas and we're talking about moves all day, like in the shop. That's just how we operate, and I think that's kind of what makes us who we are, because people know who we are, and that is for that reason too. Like, you know what I mean? We're just out there. Everybody's a family when they come in here.
Yeah.
Everyone's a part of the family. So, I'm happy that it happened that way. It didn't even happen while we planned it like that. That's just how we are.
Yeah, because a little background that, what you guys don't know is about Billionaire Barbershop is they were popping, and the next thing you know, they died out, and it was just Milo and Ant cutting. Then I came in, and then it seemed like after I came in, it was like, bam, we had like 7-8 barbers instantly,
Yeah.
And Ant and Milo, they've been, I'll tag Milo in the video so you guys go check them out too. They've been rocking it out since, because people, that's the thing about barbershops, man. When you don't have some are not steady teams and you're losing people, and then you get people like Ant and Milo that just stop kind of, this is my opinion. I feel like you guys just stop, worrying about other people and just, you guys focus on your guys' self for meantime, because I think you guys were tired of putting your time into other barbers that were just leaving you guys.
Yeah, and Senda is kind of like and he's kind of behind the curtain too, because he was there.
Yeah.
There's been a few times where he's like, maybe we should close down, maybe we should do this, and even before that, it was me and Jose by ourselves, and then we built a kind of a team, but the team wasn't there like this team is. And,
Yeah.
And then it was me and Milo, and we're like, all right, we gotta do this, and me and Milo talked about different things, and then I think it was at some point where me and Senta and Milo were like, all right, we really need to do this, and we started to actually talk about things and making plans, and that's when all that stuff started happening. And like you said, within a month, bro, it's crazy. When you put your mind to something, it just happens.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to give a lot of credit to everybody else here too. But But yeah, I'm just glad that we have the team that we do, and even now, you know what I mean? Because how strong we vibe with each other. We have the group chat, and we're not falling off, and no one's straying away. Like we're still solid.
Yeah, and that's true, man. And I know we're not the only barbershop that vibe like that. So, a lot of people that, that are tuning in, you guys know that feeling and the connection when because you got to think, we work Tuesday. I mean, I work Tuesday through Saturday, and like most barbers do. And, you guys are there 24/7. It's with any job. You end up gaining a bond with your barbers because you're there all day talking. So it's like, some of you guys can understand the feeling that the mutual feeling we're having right now, because I haven't seen Ant ever since we closed down. We're going on almost 2-3 months of not seeing each other in the barbershop, eating donuts, and, just that whole vibe. So, to be able to have him on here today, it feels good. It feels like I'm back in the shop, seeing the shop behind them, man. It's just, if you're a barber, you know the feeling, that the mutual feeling that we're having right now. So that's why I brought him on, because not only that is he got the wisdom, man. So what do you think about this whole situation of the barbershop not opening and everything else is opening?
Well, I mean, you know a lot about what I think about what's going on, but also one thing is it doesn't make any sense because there's restaurants who now they're allowed to give alcohol to go.
Yeah.
And when was that ever allowed? That's never been allowed. And, is that essential to health? No, as a matter of fact, it's poisonous to our health. And for us to be the last on the list to open up, it doesn't make any sense because we're the ones that have to go through testing and precautions and you get a fine immediately if there's one thing off, off the health code. You have to have ventilation in a barbershop. You have to be sanitary. You have to be clean. You have to do all those things that people are doing now. Even the airlines, they just said that they're starting to change their safety measures and their cleaning measures. And why didn't they do that before? I mean, that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They're acting like we're the ones that
the dirtiest.
We already have been regulated for years already, and we have it harder than tattoo artists have. So for us to be the last ones makes no sense. And you know what I mean? We have government officials getting their haircuts and all that stuff. And I do think that I get both sides. You know what I mean? I get that people are scared. I get that they're trying to say it's going to spread disease, but we don't. Most of the time, barbershops don't have 100 people. Walmart has 100 people. Safeway has 100 people or more. And we have, at the most, 10, 11, 12 people in a shop at a time. I mean, that's the most. That's a lot. You know what I mean? We don't even have that much at a time. And for us to be last, it doesn't make any sense. And there was something else that I was going to say, but it completely
No, but you know what, though? You're right, because you think about it, we have 9 barbers in the shop. With 9 barbers, we don't have a long waiting because most of us are appointments only. Mm-hmm. So when we have everybody's cutting, we're already almost 6 feet apart.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're already, I think so. You can see in the back.
We're spaced out.
Yeah, we are spaced out. And then when it comes to waiting, it's always one person. I think the most that I seen waiting at our shop was probably 4.
Yeah, I mean, and because that's the whole point. We have a small waiting area for that reason. We have more stations.
Hold on, that's my mic picking up all that bracket in the back. Yeah, I think it is, man. No, but like I said, there's only been 5 people that are that I see probably wait at the most.
Yeah, it's not a lot of people that wait, and even though we have that name, that's why there's more barbers than there is waiting area. There's more stations than there's waiting area because we're trying to get it out. We're trying to get everyone in and out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's that's why we moved to the bigger spot, and it's bigger and it's cleaner and there's so much more. You know what I mean? It's so much cleaner and it's safer here. And what I was gonna say is also at this time, I hope that barbers are taking it constructively. Like a lot of the young barbers who think they're going to come in and make 6 figures a year, like all the barbers that have been doing it. It doesn't, speaking from experience, it takes a long time. And I hope that they think about it like, okay, let me do my taxes. Let me save my money. Let me think about times like this. Let me try to excel in my craft and do better and stand out. And it should change a lot of things and also make them more aware and more responsible about their money and about the moves that they make, and in case something like this happens. Because for years I've been thinking, okay, if anything like that happens, a recession or anything happens, I need to know where I'm at and I need to make sure I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be able to coast through it. And even now I'm feeling like, damn, I'm still not as prepared as I wanted to be. But at least I am. At least I thought about that. So I'm gonna be okay. But there's a lot of barbers that aren't, and we need for them to take us serious. We need to take ourselves serious, and we need to think about stop acting like we're just chilling and I'm my own boss. But my own boss, as your own boss, you're not working and you're not trying to get better or trying to grow. That's what they need to think about. They need to think about those things, take themselves serious and instill some serious self-discipline, you know what I mean, throughout the rest of the year.
And that's true. And that's true because, I got lucky. My unemployment, you see, I just posted on Instagram. My unemployment just went through, which is, dope, because it is going to help out a lot for all the missed times. And, I'm not working. I'm not even doing no type of haircut. So, the money I'm getting, I'm going to appreciate it as much as I can because that's help right now. And if it wasn't for unemployment, if it wasn't for my girl working, I would have been broke as shit because I didn't do what you just said. I didn't plan and I didn't put away. I was spending as I was doing cuts, and I wasn't prepared for something like this, So I'm lucky that I have a significant other working, having a check, and now that unemployment came in, that's going to help out a lot, So thank you for those help. But like you said, I should have been on my A game and I should have been putting money away. And that's just what's going to make me, when I do come back, when the shop does open, now I'm going to be looking at it a whole different way. Every cut, I make $30, put 10 away, and that's how you save, to be honest.
And, maybe because you knew that you had that, like you had your wife and you knew that you guys, you know what I mean, that she would be there for you. You had your own barbershop before. So, you weren't unaware, but you just decided to change direction and walk a different path, and now you started to grow again. But, I guess the difference is for me, like, I've never really had anyone to depend on. And, it's just always been like that for me. So I've always been afraid to fail, because if I fail, like if there's anyone that's under me, they're going to fail too. So but like you said, though, now
you really been prepared for something like this,
Yeah. And like I said, even I still don't feel prepared even now because maybe I have enough to be able to wait it out, but then after that I have nothing. And it'll be everything that I worked for will kind of be gone because I'll have to have depleted everything. And but like I said, good thing is, like, positives that come out of this is we learn a lot. Good thing the government is sending out checks and we're getting unemployment even as a self-employed operator. But, it teaches us a lot. And I hope that we can take that out of this. And I can't wait. Hopefully we can get back to work soon.
Yeah. I hope so too, man. And, I think it's kind of getting like tiring talking about, the coronavirus and
it is,
and it's just kind of like, man, I try not to talk about it, but it's something that has to be talked about. But, and right now I feel like we're going to just switch it up a little bit because I want to bring attention to what you accomplished and how you became a barber. Let's step away from that and let's talk more about you. And like I said, when did you become a barber?
So I started cutting hair. I picked up a pair of clippers back in 2007. But I always cut hair. But it was always something that was going to be last for me. It was always like, okay, what I was planning to go to Coast Guard and then go to college. And then I was going to do CHP and then open a barbershop later on after I have some money and all that stuff. But it didn't happen that way. At the time, they were doing budget cuts, and then I was cutting hair on the side. It never really stopped, and I had a job here. And then there was a point where I had two jobs, and I was cutting hair on the side. And I almost quit a couple times because I was like, damn, I'm so tired. I'm working two jobs, and I was young, and I was like, maybe I can pick up cutting hair later because, I'm tired. I wanted to be able to just work. But then I realized that it was a lot of people already. I had a lot of clientele who were depending on me for an affordable haircut because obviously I was charging very little at the time. And, and I knew I was somewhat good. And that kind of pushed me and it kept me going. And I always loved cutting hair from the moment I started. And I started cutting hair because my cousin, he always wanted a fade. He wanted to make sure he was clean. And I had clippers, but my grandfather bought me those clippers, and it was just so I wouldn't have to go get a haircut. And I was like, I'm not going to come on here. I can't come on here. And my cousin was like, oh, just try it. So I messed that dude up, and I messed him up a few times. And not until that, it was because of him that I was able to get a fade down. And after that, it kind of took off for me. But, going back, I ran a business with my cousin, and I also worked another job. And it eventually got to a point where everyone was telling me, you need to get your license, you need to work in the shop. They're telling me how much barbers are making. And I knew that I always wanted to get to a really successful position as a barber. And I always told myself I would, and people would tell me, you need to get this job, but I stuck with the same job for like 5 years. And I was like, you know what? Finally, I just cut everything off, and I was like, I had 2 cars. I sold the car, and I put it in the bank, the money in the bank, and I went and just got my license. And I just jumped in the shop. Cynthia gave me an opportunity, and he really like stuck his neck out for me. He didn't know me at all either, and he put on for me. Like he made sure that I was gonna be able to do that. And ever since then, man, I just kept trying and trying, and I grew as much as I could, and I just never gave up. And I knew, like, in my mind, I knew I was gonna do this, and I knew I was gonna get here, and I know I'm gonna get somewhere else too. And so I keep pushing, and I keep throwing myself out there, and just throwing myself into work more and more as possible, much as possible, and it's getting me somewhere. You know, and I'm not even close to where I want to be, but I know that I'm gonna get there because I got to where I am, and I already said I was gonna get here. Mm-hmm. So it really just took a lot of faith in myself. Yeah. And you know, I knew I wanted to get better, and that's what it took. I just never stopped working. I never stopped learning. There were times when people would try to tell me, you know, something, and I would be like, I already know. Don't tell me, I already know. But I'm glad that I did take into consideration the advice that was given to me. But there was a couple times I thought about doing this and doing that and not cutting hair, you know, full time. And even my dad, you know, he would always tell me, you need to get a real job. Yeah. And for me, you know, I was like, what are you talking about? And, you know, that made me upset. And so that pushed me even harder. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to show him. I'm going to show everybody else who thinks that barbers, you know, aren't successful or aren't a serious job. You know what I mean? No one ever calls a barber a real job. Yeah. They never call barbering a real job.
And that's what I don't get. Like, when you say you're a barber, they don't, because we're not in the field of working construction and this and that. Like, we kind of get put in that category. Like, that's like a hobby, you know, but it's really not. It's a job. What we do is a job. Like, you know, we got to cut. We cut all day. We got to talk all day. We got to hear your guys' issues. We got to hear your problems, you know, and that's what we're a barber. We're a counselor. We're a friend. We're everything. And that takes a toll. Like, you know, it ain't easy. Like, being a barber is not easy. Not only you have to learn cuts and you got to be good at cutting, you got to be able to take those responsibilities on too of listening, talking, and making them feel comfortable. I mean, there's some people that I cut that they won't tell no one anything that they told me. I'm supposed to lock it in, and we lock shit in, you know?
And we build some strong relationships. Those bonds, they're like, I've never had bonds with people like I've had with barbers or clients.
Yeah. You know what I think it is too? I think the reason why they put us in a boat like that we're not a real job is because we don't get paid hourly. I think that's where it comes from, because a lot of our money is, you know, transactions. They say under the table or card, you know? And so I think that's where they don't take us serious. But really, man,
it's because there's not a huge company behind it.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? But that's where they're wrong. You know what I mean? Because that's what people think now, and it's a misconception that you need to have a big company to big success.
Because if you go work at Supercuts in sports clips, that's a job, you know. They look at
that's a job, but they get paid hourly. Yeah. They're not really paid fairly. The only thing they're getting different is like benefits. Mm-hmm. And the benefits aren't that great, you know what I'm saying? Not talking down to anyone who does work there.
But you could go pay out of your own pocket and get good benefits. If you do.
I mean, and you know, but and to me, they're not being paid fairly.
Yeah.
But you know, there's, you know, people say, oh, well, haircut, you know, $40, $50, they trip out, but they're not understanding. You know, that's why you got to stand out. Mm-hmm. That's why you got to stand out, because if you want to make good money, you got to stand out. You got to be better than the next person. And like what you're doing, you're standing out. You're making yourself different. And people will want to get their haircut from you and want to speak to you, and they'll pay you whatever you're going to charge because of who you are now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what it takes too, you know. But
in all reality, you're right, because I'm building a character, you know.
Yeah.
They want to go and sit in my chair because they know I can cut good. They see me on YouTube, they hear my podcast. So now it's like almost, I want to go see this dude, you know. They could probably care less if I cut good or not. They just want to be able to cut.
But the fact that you do cut good makes it even better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's going to make you go farther because you actually do care about your craft.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, like whenever we speak, you know, people ask me questions like that and I'll be like, oh, yeah, when I had a regular job, and I catch myself saying that. And I'm like, well, no, I guess, you know what? This isn't a regular job, but it doesn't mean that it's not a job. It's actually a career too.
Yeah. And I think we don't look at it as a job because we love what we're doing. It's not work to us, you know? And I think that's what it is too, is because we look at it as like, I've been a barber for 6 years. I haven't felt a day in my life where I have to go to work. Fuck, I got to go to work. God damn. Like, you know, I got to get there. Like, I never done that. I came from the warehouse industry and I used to be like that all the time. Like, fuck, I got to go to work. You know, I ain't trying to be here. I'm at work. I'm just trying to have the day go by. People are built for that. I'm not talking down on nobody that does that. Like people, that's what they love. People love that type of work.
Yeah. Me
being an entrepreneur mindset, me wanting to be my own boss, this was the perfect field for me to get in. And today I look at it as I haven't worked in 6 years, but I really have, because, you know, I love what I do. And I think, I think we kind of get thrown in like a rapper, like a rapper that makes money. That's his job. That's a job. But no one would never say that's his job.
Yeah, you know? They would never call it a job.
They would never call it a job. So I feel like we're in that boat with them, you know?
Well, you were never gonna stay working for somebody. I mean, look at you, how you express yourself.
Yeah.
The tattoos on your face is a big image for you. And that says a lot about you, that's who you are. You want, that's you trying to come out.
Yeah.
You're not going to work for someone who's going to tell you what to do and dictate the way you're supposed to look and how you're supposed to live, because they don't want you coming to work expressing yourself. And this is a platform to go farther than that. Not only are we self-employed, not only is it a job, not only is it an income, not only do we work hard, we have the opportunity to go farther, to grow more, to become something more than just a barber, to become an educator, to become whatever we want, because now we create an image and we have a platform where we can jump off of it and we can do so much more. And we're not looked at as a regular person who's doing a regular 9 to 5. We are actually looked up to now because of what we do and because of the opportunities and the capacity that we have. And you know what I mean? That's why we got to really take ourselves serious. And that's the best part about it. So whenever someone tries to talk down on us, you know, I think we even stick together on that.
And it's almost like with people when they start talking about what we do, you know?
Yeah, it's funny when I have people sit down in my chair and I don't even know, you know, I've never met them, whatever, this is their first time. And sometimes they speak to me and they'll speak about things that they assume that I know nothing about, or they assume that I'm not educated in, you know what I'm saying? They think, oh, you just get a barber's license, so easy, no big deal, you just cut hair. But I am more educated than that. And I have educated myself throughout the years, but they don't know that because they just see me as just a barber.
Yeah.
And they speak to you, they speak down on you. Make sure you do it like this. They demand things from you. And you're like, okay, look, I'm gonna be patient with you until I decide I don't want to work with you anymore. Like, you got to remember, I got people offering me money to cut their hair right now. They probably could have took your spot, but you know, sometimes people are a little bit arrogant.
And you know, and when you were talking right now, you know, people that are probably listening and you're saying the prices of your haircuts. Now, you know, I know some people are probably thinking like $45, $50. I can't even get to that. How do you get people to pay that? So, you know, let's talk, because you also said you started from low cut, you know, your prices being.
I started off at $5.
Exactly. You know, and a lot of people are stuck at 25 because they're scared. Let's take it Efren. Let's take example, Efren. He's at our barbershop. He's at one of, you know, he's at his station's actually right behind you. And he comes into the Billionaire Barbershop still charging $20. Everybody from me to you, I think I'm probably at 30, Joe 30. We got Milo at probably 35. Then we get to you, you're 45, 50 now?
40, 50. It's actually gonna be 45, 55, but right now I'm trying to not, like, you know, put too much on people.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm trying my best.
And then we get to Jose. We get to Jose.
45, 55.
45, 50. But then we go back to Efren. Efren comes into the shop because he comes from a shop that they set prices at $15 to $20. You know, he comes in, he's barring shit out. I'm impressed by him still. I mean, the haircuts he puts out are dope. You know, he puts out So we sat there and told him like, bro, you need to raise your prices. Yeah. And he's like, no, I can't. I don't know how people are going to react to me changing my prices. I'm like, we're not saying go to $100 to $60. We're saying go up to $30 what you're worth, because all of us are not even in the $20 range. We're 30 and up. So go to 30. And he was like, man, you know, and, you know, there's a bunch of barbers out there that are like Efren that are scared to raise their prices because they're scared to lose their clients, you know. But like me, you, we all told them, raise them. Who cares if you lose them? You're going to gain more. You lose one, you gain 10. That's how it works. And so, and I want to know, what is your perspective on raising prices? Like, to other barbers that want to know, like, how do I do it? Should I do it? When's the right timing? Like,
well, it's like you said, Efren does amazing work, and he should be charging more. I think he should be charging the same as I'm charging.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, okay, he hasn't gradually done that. So you have to gauge yourself. You can't just raise your price to $50 because someone next to you raising $50 or the next shop is $50. But you have to make sure that your skill set and your work is, or your product is, it is worth that much. You know, you can't just be any regular, you know, if you're like everyone else, then you got to charge what everyone else is. But if you're doing great work, then you need to know where you're at. And I mean, for instance, like when clients are telling you, you need to raise your prices. I have clients telling me to raise my prices. I'm like, damn, I need to raise my prices because they're literally telling me they'll pay me $20, $30 more than what I'm actually charging them.
Yeah.
And I've had barbers ask me too, like, how do you raise your prices, or when should I raise my prices? You need to raise your prices. Like I said, you need to gauge yourself. Like, if you think that you're not good enough, you're good enough to charge, then get better. Then make yourself better. That should push you. But if you're not willing to try to get better and you think that you're already, I'm good enough, I don't need to, then you're not going to make that much. And even if you raise your prices that much, you know, there's a difference. I understand when people speak to me about my prices. I've had kids kind of blurt out what their parents say behind my back. I'm okay with that. I don't get upset because there's a difference in the quality of work. I understand that not everyone is going to be able to afford my prices. I'm not for that. I'm not for that class, you know, not speaking down, because I was there before. And I do have clients who I work things out with them because I know that they want to, and they try, and they are, you know, people that I don't want to lose. But I know that not everyone's going to be able to afford me. And that's the whole point, is I don't want everyone to be able to afford me because it doesn't make me exclusive. I'm not in demand. I've had people where it gets to a point, and it happens every year. I get to a point where I'm so busy, and that's why I bust my ass so much, because I want to be able to get in everyone I possibly can and do a good job. And I'm constantly running late, but that's okay because I'm giving out my best work. And if you're not doing that, then you don't deserve to raise your prices. And see, what happens is I have so much people asking me to cut their hair. I can't get everyone in every week. So what happens is I raise my price $5, $10. And what happens is it cuts out some of the people who are constantly asking me. And now only the people who can pay that will be able to get in. And it helps me out too. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm going to lose people, but that's the point. The point is I want people to be able to afford to tip me as well. And they're going to tip me regardless if my work is good or not. You know what I mean? I mean, not regardless. Sorry. They're going to tip me as long as my work is that good. They don't care. But that's the point, you know, is you want to be exclusive. You want to be different. I want to be in a higher tax bracket. I want to cut clients who are in a higher tax bracket than I am. You know, it just depends on what type of clientele you want. There are barbers that are affordable, and that's okay. But that's not who I want to be.
And not only that, is you've been in the game for so long. It's like you said, you didn't turn around and, you know, 2 months later be like, hey, went from 20 to 60 like that. It took time.
Yeah.
And what you did was just, you knew you were getting better also. And you needed you knew what you were worth, you know. Like when I first got into it, my haircuts were probably worth about $4 or $5. I ain't even gonna lie, you know. And then I started raising a little bit. And where I'm at now with you guys is the highest I've been. But now that I see that my cuts are getting way better, I'm sitting back thinking like, I need to start maybe go up a little bit when we open, because it's what I'm worth. You know, it's what I offer, is what I'm putting out. You know, and it, you know, barbers that are listening, we're not talking about just go in and raise your prices, you know, 1 month before, you know, you're at 20 and then you raise it to 50. We're not saying that. You know, it takes time, because I'm at $30. That took me 6 years to get to $30, 7 years, you know. So to know your worth, it takes time. It just don't go into and thinking you're the shit and, you know, and I'm going to charge 60 now, you know, because the next barber next to me. No, that next barber is someone like me or Ant that's been doing this for we're almost 6+ years. So, you know, I mean, I wish I could have came into this game charging 30. Shit, I would have been good by now.
Well, and see, there's the thing too, is like you said, you can't just jump in and do that. You got to be good enough, because if you try to jump in and charge $50, $60, you're going to fail faster than anything. But, you know, another thing is the client's got to see it like this too. You want your barber to do a good job. Okay. Well, they're charging you compensation for that. So what you need to do is they're creating incentive for themselves. So if I'm going to do a good job, if they expect me to do my very best, I need to get paid what I think is my very best also, like very best price, because it's going to make me want to do a better job. And, you know, if you're not willing to pay me what I'm charging, I don't even want to do the haircut. So then if you're going to constantly ask me and you're trying to negotiate a price, I'm not going to feel motivated to do the haircut. And I'm not going to be motivated to do a good job, so I'm not even going to do it. Like that's why I don't do certain things, and I don't even offer lineups. But like I said, that's what the price is for. The increase is for that incentive to be able to give their best work, because you don't want to come to work if you're not making good enough money. If you're not making good enough money, you don't even feel like going to work. Yeah. So what's the point? So you need to understand that the price increase is compensating that.
And that's just knowing your worth.
Exactly. You have to know your worth. That's a big thing, and people don't realize their own worth.
And that's like you told me, like when I came into the shop, you see that I brought the hot towel machine, the things I do. You even told me, like, bro, you need to raise your prices if you're doing things like that.
Oh,
because, you know, and I took consider, like, you know what, I will, but I want to get, you know, because I'm starting over with you guys. Like I'm like a new barber coming into a shop, because I'm coming from Stockton to Sacramento, which is an hour. No one followed me. I owned a barbershop for 6 years. No one followed me from Stockton to Sacramento. So being with you guys, I'm starting over. I'm like a newbie. You know, I'm taking all the walk-ins, and it's just, and to be honest, it's really humbling, because when I was in Stockton, when I had my shop, I was like you guys. I couldn't even fit nobody in. Don't even come in trying to ask to get a haircut, because I'm booked. I'm not going to be moving no one around. That was me. And I took that for granted, because I started like just, you know, not caring no more, because I thought, oh, I'm booked anyways, you know. And I think everything happens for a reason, because now I want that feeling back. And that's what I was doing. And that's what I was fighting for when we were up and running. So it kind of just took me back. And now I know that feeling, like once I get to that where I'm booked, I'm going to always, you know, be like, I want this. This is what I wanted. I worked for it, and I'll never take it for granted again, you know? So it's just
thinking like that makes you work harder.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Cause this time around I'm different now. I'm trying to get everything I can, you know.
Everyone, yeah.
Yeah. So it's just, I guess this is a, you know, everything happens for a reason type of thing. The way I see it, I just feel like, you know, I'm taking it as a positive outcome, and that's how you got to look at life when things happen like that, you know. Because I was making almost a week. I was making almost $2,000 to now making, because everybody thinks going into a shop you're gonna make instant money, but that is not. And trust me, it's not how it works. You know, I'm building my way back up. So now where I'm at, I'm making. When I first started there, the first 3 weeks I probably made about each week maybe like 150 to my name. You know, They just put me back like, damn, what am I doing? Like, you know, I wanted to quit again, because I'm like, I'm not gonna start over, but just pushing myself, and you know, I started seeing an increase. So I'm stuck at right now. Before we closed down, I was watching my money go up. So I was maybe at 300, 400 a week. I was barely getting there, but that's good, because it shows to me that it's improving.
Yeah.
That I'm getting there. And I started getting my little appointments started popping up. I started getting, you know, so I was working, and then this happened. So, you know, what it's just going to make me do when I get back into the shop is continue where I left off, but go 20 times harder.
Well, imagine all the people that miss you.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's growth. You still got the growth. You know what I mean? And you know it's going to happen. So, I mean, that's the best part about it. And like you said, like, you know, I don't take that stuff for granted anymore either, because I realize, you know what I mean, how much I wish, you know, that I could cut certain times, or when I wasn't able to, or, you know, the money I missed. And
Mm-hmm.
if I know, like, if I have the time and someone's asking me to cut their hair and they're willing to pay me the price that I'm charging, I should be taking them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So do you consider, you know, I get this asked a lot, you know, people always, you know, they'll write me because they're looking at me as, you know, some people that write my DM, they want to almost pick my brain like I pick all your guys' brain.
Uh-huh.
It's just humbling because, you know, when I get people asking me advice of this, I'm like, all right, cool. You know, I take that like to heart. Like when you see me say thank you, I appreciate it. You know, thank you for the support and love. Like I really do mean that because, you know, I'm nobody until this day. I'm nobody, you know? So to get that attention from people, it really is like cool, you know, like that's the message I'm trying to put out. I want people to be able to come to me and ask me questions, you know, because I'm going to give all honesty and all real answers. And, you know, I always get people asking me, do you consider booth or commission? You know, I'm sure people always ask, some people ask you, like, would you rather pay booth rent or would you rather pay commission? So what would you explain to someone asking you that?
Well, most barbershops are going to do like booth rent, but I know some do commission. And I mean, honestly, if you don't like, I think that in commission, you tend to lose a lot more money and you work hard. You tend to work harder and to not make as much money. I
say you sell yourself short commission.
Oh yeah. I mean, you know, the only one that's winning there is the owner of the shop or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's not fair. If someone's charging you commission, then they really don't care about you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, not to say that they shouldn't get their money. Yeah, they should. But, you know, if you don't like that, just remember there's other ways. There's other ways to do it, and you'll figure out another way. There's always another shop or whatever. And
do you think coming into the game straight out of barber college, and you know, because when you come out of barber college, you're ready for any shop.
Oh yeah.
Should they take a commission job for a second just to get the feel of it?
I mean, to be honest, I will say, like, don't refuse help if they're willing to take you and they're gonna, you know, sometimes you got to go through those things. Those are the trials that you have to go through. It's gonna be tough to start off anything, though. It doesn't even have to be barbering. It can be anything, and it's gonna be tough, and you're gonna get the short end of the stick. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be sunshine and rainbows right away. It's gonna take you a while, and it might take longer than a year. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, it is necessary for some people, and not only that, those shops that charge commission are probably going to shoot you clientele, or, you know, I mean, get your clientele up, and you have to start somewhere. You're not going to get rich right away, and I hope no one expects that. So you know, you know, if you have to pay commission, you have to pay commission, and that's how our efforts started off, and that's why he doesn't know any better on how to grow, but that's why we're trying to help him. That's like I told you. Remember, I told you I was like, I want to see you charging $40 by next year minimum.
Yeah.
I don't want to see no less, because, you know what I mean? I wouldn't tell you that if I didn't think you were worth it. I wouldn't tell you that. Trust me.
Yeah. No, and that's true, because, you know, you've been in a lot of us been in shops and you're like, God damn, you know, I wish I could help him, but that's just that barber getting through his tough times. But, you know, those are the ones that should be charging what they're charging. And you can, like you said, you can feel when a barber should be, when you should approach a barber like, hey, bro, you need to charge a little more. You know, I'm trying to help you out, because what you're charging ain't gonna cut it. You should be making a lot more money.
Yeah. Well, see, like right now I'm working in a shop, and it's my cousin's shop, and he has a memorandum from the military and law enforcement to be open. He's essential, like with OSHA and all that stuff. So he has the paperwork to stay open. The code enforcement just came the other day, and they actually were like, okay, cool, you're good.
Yeah.
But see, I'm trying to help him right now. And I'm trying to explain to him, like, he needs to raise his prices. He needs to operate like this. So I'm actually helping him set up his gen book to be able to book. And I'm telling him what he needs to charge. I'm telling him his work is there. You know, I'm trying to help him out. And I feel like he's starting to, like, make those changes. And I'm doing a lot. It's weird that some of the things that you would think that some of the barbers would be up on, but he's not. And it's just because a lot of people don't care to push, you know, to try to help that hard. So I'm trying my best to help him out so he can succeed a little bit more. And I plan on helping him out even after all this is over, because Billionaire is my home and I run this shop, but still, like, I want to help him out. And I'm thinking about, you know, coming up with a plan to be able to help other barbershops succeed, like some kind of service that I can provide, where, because I know, you know, everything around the shop now. And I think that I might be able to help some shops excel a little bit more, you know what I mean? And teach them how to raise prices, and maybe put them through training and like a whole inclusive deal, like where I can train them and help their cuts get better, and put them at a pricing, and have them more organized where people can book with them and be able to just get found on the internet, like online, and all those different things, just how to operate in general. Like I'm thinking about kind of extending a service like that.
Mm-hmm. And that's why, and that was one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you on, because, you know, a lot of us in the industry get so blinded by these big names and what they're doing. We forget about how much wisdom that's out there in the barber industry that don't really put themselves out there as of you, you know, like there's so much that you can probably come out, you can write a book about what you just said to run, how to run a shop, you know. It's just, and that was my thing on bringing you on. Like, man, we got to open our eyes and stop worrying about these big barbers that are already got everything going on. They're just in it to make money. Now you got us that are, you know, coming up, and, you know, it's just bringing attention to people that are just in the shop with so much wisdom, such as you, Santa and Jose. And, you know, it's just like the barber industry is so big and so much opportunity in it that we can all eat on writing books, on create a product, you know. And it's just crazy. Like, we get, like I said, we get so blinded by these big barbers that are already doing it.
That we
could do the same thing. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because we think like, oh, we'll never be that because you don't have that following. I don't have that following. And, you know, that's probably the only thing like I feel like I'm missing. I feel like it would help me a lot.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'll get there. But I know that I'm focused on real life right now. Like,
yeah.
Focused on getting there, you know, every other aspect. So it's like you said, don't get discouraged. You know, you can get there, but, you know, it just don't look like that on Instagram. And
that's just even with this podcast, like I almost just gave it up, because the reason why is because Anthony the Barber just came out with one. I don't know if you've seen him. He's pushing a podcast now, and his follow base, he even cuts the Giants. You know, he has it there. So I'm like, oh, he's basically in Sacramento. So I'm like, oh, you know what? I think I'm done. He's gonna outdo me, but I'm in my own lane. You know, I run my podcast way different. I listen to him. I run it way different. And, you know, it's just going to separate me from him, what he's doing. And that's just going back to, you know, I'm just going to keep doing it. You know, I don't have the follow base like he does, but I'm going to work there, and I'm going to appreciate it more when I do get that follow base such as he has, you know. So, well,
you know, it's different. You know, that's one of those people he's going to jump on everything he can and he has the opportunity. He has all the availability.
Yeah.
He has the accessibility to, so he can do that. But look at Wingstop; they were around for years, and then Fire Wings comes out, and Fire Wings is blowing shit out of the water. But Fire Wings was small time, and you know, now they're out here and they're doing really good, and people won't even fuck with Wingstop; they're only fucking with Fire Wings. So it's like, really, like it doesn't, you know, Fire Wings was nothing. So you know what I mean? It doesn't mean that you're not going to get anywhere. You know what I mean?
And my whole point of talking about this is because there's so much barbers out there that, like you said, that just they see them already did it and they just stop. And, you know, there's so many barbers out there with so many ideas. And my point to the story is, if you have, you know, something, a product, or you're thinking of doing it, do it. Go out and do it, because, you know, don't be scared to fail. Don't be scared because you only have 400 followers. No, if you feel like you got something hot, go with it. And I guarantee it'll be a natural flow, and you'll see increasing. You'll see people wanting it. And next thing you know, you'll be big yourself, man. And that's what I'm doing here, you know?
Yeah, as long as you give it your all.
Yeah. So, man, how you been with the family? How you guys all doing?
We're doing good. My girl's working from home. She actually started working from home shortly before this, so she's super busy. So that keeps her occupied, and it keeps her, you know, kind of out of my hair sometimes.
Yeah.
My stepson's good too. I mean, we're trying to put him on a routine and trying to get things, you know, on a routine differently, because he's usually going to school and he wears himself out. So we're just a lot of things are changing, but everything's going really well. We're actually kind of thinking about moving. We're looking into moving into a bigger place, but
there you go.
Everything's pretty good. I feel like it's going well. The only thing that we're missing is like school and the gym.
Yeah.
He needs to go to school and we need to go to the gym.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I heard about a gym and the fitness system in West Sac and all that he's going to be opening up on Friday, and I think I'm going to go sign up.
Yeah, I just seen that too. There's even a barbershop that's about to open up. They said they don't care what they said. They're going to open up. They don't care. I'm like, you know, everybody's on for their own right now. So, hey, if it works, it works, you know?
Good luck to them. More power to them.
But it was good to have you on, Ant, and I appreciate it, man. It's episode, I think I'm on 18. Can you believe it? 18 in almost 3 weeks almost.
I remember when you first started it and you were asking us about it, and we were like, man, yeah, everyone was excited about it, and I'm glad that you kept doing it, bro, because it just gets more exciting. It gets more and more exciting.
And I'm doing the YouTube because I think there's gonna be more money in that, because like I was saying yesterday, Apple and SoundCloud, you got to have a follow base. I mean, to be reality, you have to have that follow base that's going to follow you to Apple Podcasts and SoundCloud. And that's like that's a challenge being someone like me and not seeing numbers jump up, But I mean, for half of my podcasts, I was hitting over, I think one of them was 3,000 views, so that's an accomplishment, but I feel like YouTube is more where I want to be. And like you telling me, do your videos, do that. And it's true, because people want to see visuals, man.
Yeah, you got it. I mean, it's just like with the Barber game. See how you started out? It took a long time, but you got there. Yeah. It's going to happen. And especially just because you can tell that people are interested in your podcast. And if people are telling you to do it, man, and they're going, you got big names coming on the show, like, you got to keep going. You can't stop now. You know what I mean? Because there's going to be so much more and so much more success for you to gain. And YouTube is one of those things where if you get enough people on there, you're going to make money off of the videos. You know what I mean? You don't have to, you know what I mean? That's why a lot of rappers now, before they put their song on like Spotify or Apple Music, they're putting them on YouTube first, because they're going to make money off the video first.
Yeah, that's true, man. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, man. So like I said, thank you for being on my podcast. I know you got a little busy schedule today, so I just want to say thank you. Thank you for bringing memories back with the shop behind you. And, oh, there it is. There's my station over there with the mirror. Okay, I see the drip over there. That's what your boy was.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me on. I'm super humbled, and I really, really appreciate you having me on. It makes me feel like I'm doing something right, but also a lot, you know what I mean? Because it shows me all these people that you have on there, just for me to be on here with you. It's crazy, and I'm excited to see you doing your thing too. Thank you again for having me on here. I really, really appreciate it.
I appreciate it too, man. So that's the wrap, man. Before we go, I always tell my guests to throw out their any social media they got, anything they want to put out there, anything you have coming up, anything. So, we're going to end it with that. Go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you at.
Instagram, splash.jpg. I have other social media outlets, but that's the one I'm mostly on. Mm-hmm. And I'm actually thinking about doing some skincare routines for men, because I have a lot of clients that have bad skin. So stay tuned. If you want to see that, I'm going to probably start throwing in some things so you can probably take better care of your skin. But flash.jpg.
And I cut it. To me, I feel like I cut everybody short on these podcasts, but it's probably already 45 minutes in, because we have so much to talk about. So, when I'm going to bring everybody back on, even on my podcast that we didn't do videos, hopefully they told me they would come back on. So we start getting everybody back on and just kind of leave off where we left off at, because we could talk all day. Me and Ant could talk all day. All the other barbers I had on here, we could talk and talk and talk. But I like to just, give like a little teaser, because, you gave out a lot of wisdom for us. And like I said, I appreciate your time. That is episode 18 in the bag. C's Barber Talk, man. And thanks to this guy, and thanks to Cynthia. If you guys don't know Cynthia, he's the owner of Billionaire Barbershop. And Milo, Jose, Joe, man, we're going to be back together soon. This is like a reunion. We should have had everybody in the shop behind you.
That would be dope. Yeah, that would be dope.
But, man, it's all love, man. Thank you, Ant, and thank you. And I hope you stay safe, and we'll be back soon together.
Thank you, bro. Wish I could shake your hand.
Yeah, we'll shake like this. There we go. All right, Ant. Thank you, man. Bro. Appreciate it.
Have a good day.
You too.
All right.